You probably already know that having high blood cholesterol, serum cholesterol, is not a good thing. It leads to atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease, which is one of our biggest killers, so it's something to avoid. So regardless of what diet you follow, it makes sense to try and keep the cholesterol levels as low as you possibly can. And as a side note, for those of you who think vegans can't have high cholesterol, trust me, you can. You just have to eat a bit of coconut oil, some extra processed foods in your diet, and Bob's your uncle, you'll have sky high cholesterol. And if you think that's a good thing, well, fill your boots. So back on planet Earth, we understand that lower blood cholesterol levels means lower risk levels for heart disease. Diet is probably the biggest lever we can pull in terms of reducing serum cholesterol levels without having to resort to statins and drugs. It's a good idea to understand how your diet affects your own cholesterol levels. As someone who stopped eating meat, dairy, eggs, cheese, kangaroo scrotum over 10 years ago, and how do my cholesterol levels and vegans' cholesterol levels compare with vegetarians, pescatarians, omnivores, paleo diet? I use a private blood testing facility service called Thriva to test a range of biomarkers, cholesterol, ApoB being the most accurate way of measuring your cholesterol levels over LDL being one of them. Every so often Thriva sends through a report to give a kind of picture of overall health across its user base. Its most recent one was really interesting. It says in the article here, we looked at cholesterol data from thousands of Thriva users to find out what's actually associated with better lipid results. Okay, so we can see that compared with other diet modalities, the vegans have the lowest ApoB levels, with paleo people at the other end of the scale. So Thriva explains this outcome as, of all the lifestyle factors in our dataset, dietary pattern shows the clearest association with ApoB levels. Plant-based eaters tended to have lower ApoB scores than those who ate meat. This isn't vegan propaganda, it's just statement of fact. I cleaned up my vegan diet a lot in the last couple of years. I've added a lot more whole foods into my diet, reduced the processed food down to a minimum. I quit alcohol a couple of months ago. So all of these things should combine to create a decent reduction in cholesterol levels and ApoB levels. And that's what I'm expecting to see. So let's find out if I've been successful. Okay. Let's get down to it. Thriva states that anything below 0.8 milligrams per deciliter is optimal. So we can see that from my latest result, I am at 0.62 milligrams per deciliter. Yeah, this is a little bit disappointing as it was at this level back in October 2024. And since then, like I say, I've quit alcohol, cleaned up my diet quite a bit, but it's not too bad. I mean, I'd certainly like to get it a bit lower. I think the self-proclaimed longevity athlete world champion, Bryan Johnson, I think his ApoB is like 52 milligrams per deciliter. So it'd be nice to beat him as we're the same age, although I think he might have a slightly healthier bank balance than me. I guess I shouldn't be too hard on myself as compared to males of the same age group. It's a lot lower than the average Thriva user. I must be doing something right. Another really interesting insight from Thriva is the relationship they have found between its users' ApoB levels and the amount of alcohol consumed on a weekly basis. I guess this is because one's liver's ability to process and remove excess cholesterol from our bloodstream gets impaired the more ethanol we consume. But what surprised me was that my ApoB levels were also significantly lower than the youngest male age group in the Thriva user base. I guess it could be explained by younger people not caring so much about their heart health. But then again, if you're using a private blood testing service, these particular Thriva users would be invested in their heart health. I don't know. When I was young, I didn't care at all about cardiovascular disease. I smoked. Like I said, I used to drink, used to eat animal products, etc. Used to eat lots of dietary cholesterol and saturated fat. We do know now that plaque progression is a slow game. The sooner you start treating it seriously, the better. Your future self will thank you. Yeah, so come on kids, eat your fibre.